Did you know that those many layers of the petticoat underneath that exquisite Herero dress used to serve as a layer of protection against the German quote-unquote rapists during the colonial period? Well, now you know. Hello gorgeous people, Uzapi Hunger here and welcome. So I'm from the Herero tribe, and growing up I would witness so much outrage, especially on social media, from my fellow Herero people towards non-Herero people who wore our dress inappropriately. And I just never understood why so much anger. But with time, I got to understand where the anger came from. I've also seen a bunch of TikToks, YouTube videos talking about cultural appropriation. And after doing all of that search, I just decided to put my insights together and share them with you. So let's get into the video. But before we do that, I'd really like to hear your thoughts on cultural appropriation. So please do make sure that you share them down below. Let's get started.
Is cultural appropriation not a thing anymore? I don't think you're Middle Eastern. You can't wear that scarf. That's shame. Shame, shame, shame. You really should be ashamed of yourself. You know, I'm gonna film it right now. Look at that. That is a white person. That is a white person. Shame! Shame!
It is cultural appropriation.
Shame!
I didn't have to laugh like that. God, cultural appropriation. What is cultural appropriation? According to an article that's cited in the Oxford English Dictionary, cultural appropriation is the unacknowledged or inappropriate adoption of the practices, custom, or aesthetics of one social or ethnic group by members of a dominant group or society. Essentially, cultural appropriation plays into the power dynamics. There is the asymmetry of power between the majority group and the minority group. So it's mostly the majority group getting something or stealing something from the minority group without giving them credit. And sometimes they can even go as far as altering the essence of that culture and claiming it as their own without giving that credit. So for the most part, it's really plagiarism, but of culture, you know what I mean? And also, whatever that's being appropriated, it has to hold some cultural significance. So bear that in mind, and let's just look at examples of what cultural appropriation is. This is the Herero dress, and this is how it's supposed to be worn. And for the most part, when you have it on, you have to present yourself with class and poise. You have to carry yourself with so much dignity. And sometimes you find that people that are not from the Herero culture, they wear the dress the way it's supposed to be worn, but the way they carry themselves is just inappropriate and it's outright disrespectful. I had a conversation with a friend and they told me why our dress is the way it is. And once you get to really understand the cultural meaning and historical meaning behind the dress, you will get to understand why people get upset or why people feel like they've been disrespected. Because let me just read it for you. Let me just read his response for you, because this was actually touching. I had no idea. And this is how it reads. The many layers of the petticoat, for example, were added to make it difficult for the rapists, so the people who wanted to penetrate into our girls and women without their consent. Yeah. The many layers of the petticoat, for example, were added to make it difficult for those people. It was a defense mechanism developed from the traumatic experiences of the past. So a brief history, Herero people, they originate from Namibia, and then we've got other people in South Africa, other Herero people in South Africa, Botswana, Angola, and other countries. So they were in Namibia, the Germans came, colonized Namibia, and at some point there was the genocide where our men were taken into slavery, or people were taken into slavery, or women and girls were penetrated forcefully. And as a way of defending themselves, this dress came about. They started wearing these petticoats, many layers of them, in a way to just make it difficult for them to reach them, you understand? So these are some of the things that we need to understand before we wear somebody's item, cultural item, because you don't know what it means to them. You don't know how sensitive it is. You don't know what trauma these people are carrying. You don't know what it symbolizes. So once you get to understand this, you will understand that you don't just wear it anyhow, even to the Herero people themselves, because the dress has turned into something else, as some people turn it into something else these days, and it's not appropriate, it's disrespectful. And I actually understand why some people do what they do, because maybe they do not know the meaning behind it. Like I had no idea this is what it meant, you know what I mean? So just before you take something from another culture, there's absolutely nothing wrong with appreciating it. Go to that culture, talk to the people from that culture, and see what they have to say about it, educate yourself, and then you can just appropriately represent it. So yeah, like I said, this can be argued as maybe it's just cultural misrepresentation or disrespect, but I also have it under cultural appropriation as well. Yeah, I got a little heated and emotional over there because I'm from the Herero tribe as well. Let's take a look at this example.
I am studying your can, and I am looking for anything that tells me where Boba came from. And where Boba came from is Taiwan. I started this venture company for a lot of reasons, but really primarily to uplift minority entrepreneurs. And not only do I feel like this is not happening here, but that I would be uplifting a business that is profiting off of something that feels so dear to my cultural heritage. I want to be a part of bringing Boba to the masses, but not like this. So for that reason, I'm out.
A little bit of context here. Dragon's Den is a TV show where people with business ideas, they go onto this show, they pitch the ideas in hopes of getting funding. And Similu was a part of the panel. So these people were pitching up this idea of the boba tea, hoping to get funding from the panel. And he just decided, no, I'm not going to fund you. So you're altering the content of this cultural tea, and you're trying to make it better. How are you making something that's cultural better? That is a little bit of disrespect right there. And on top of that, who is going to profit off of this? It's these specific individuals. Nobody from the Thai people are going to benefit from their own cultural tea, which is another problem. If there's an element of somebody from the minority group benefiting off of something that holds so much cultural significance from the minority group, and the minority group is not going to profit off of it in any way, then that is cultural appropriation. Let's get into another example. An example is Kim Kardashian. In 2019, she launched an underwear brand and named it Kimono. Kimono holds some cultural significance to the Japanese nation, and Kim Kardashian just decided to take the name. Well, she claimed that she was not going to make the kimonos, like the actual kimono outfits.
I just find it very inappropriate to use the word kimono and just make an underwear brand out of it.
So the thing with the kimono is that it holds so much cultural significance to the Japanese nation. It's symbolic, and when people like Kim Kardashian take the name, even though she was not stealing the actual garment, the problem is that Kim Kardashian is a celebrity. She's popular. She has so much influence over billions of people, and chances are, once people get to embrace this new kimono, the underwear brand, there's a potential of the Japanese tradition and kimono being erased, and people can totally forget about it because now it's been rebranded into something that it's not. So that means the Japanese culture has the potential to lose its heritage and its identity, and these are the dangers of cultural appropriation. Like, even though you don't mean to do any harm, you can end up causing harm. So before you do anything of this sort, you need to engage people from that specific culture. You need to understand the history behind it. You need to understand the implications of taking something from that specific culture. Another example is the braids. When Kim wore cornrows, we saw that now everybody started embracing cornrows, and they started calling them the Kim Kardashian style. And now Black people are just like, wait, what? We've had cornrows for years and years, and now because the celebrity has worn this, all of a sudden they are called the Kim Kardashian style. So that means that it dilutes the significance of cornrows in the Black culture. So this is something that could happen to the kimono as well, and that is why the whole thing was just scattered. So the opinions on this topic vary greatly, and right now we're going to take a look at what people have to say.
You're saying that I can't have a hairstyle because of your culture? Because it's my culture. You know I was in Egyptian culture? Are you Egyptian? Nah. Yo, girl, stop touching me right now. Yo, girl, stop touching me right now.
The man did not press any charges against her, and she was allowed to continue attending the university.
Why are you filming this? Just for everyone's safety.
Okay, so that is just outright assault, and the boy should have pressed charges. But anyway, let's break it down. The white boy has dreadlocks. He's from the majority group. The black girl, she is from the minority group, and the white boy has dreadlocks, which come from the black community. And this is not cultural appropriation, people. This little boy is just looking good in the dreadlocks, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. He is not profiting off of it in any way or form. So cultural appropriation has a lot to do with stealing and benefiting and profiting off of it. He is not doing any of these things. He's just there rocking dreadlocks. If anything, you should be happy that he is appreciating your culture. He is putting your culture out there. You know what I mean? There's absolutely nothing wrong with what this boy did. It becomes a problem when these people start claiming that, oh, this is their own style, they own it, and they start profiting off of it, especially when this is somebody, maybe if it's a bigger brand, and they now just make money off of it and claiming that it's their own without giving the credit to the black people. That is where it becomes tricky. Let's take a look at another one.
Wearing straight hair, cultural appropriation?
Yes.
So white people's culture is straight hair? No, let me cook. It's white people, let me cook.
Other
It's white
races.
people's culture-
It's not your culture though.
Say that again?
It's not your culture.
What's not culture?
Straight hair.
It's straight hair? That's what culture is? Straight hair?
You guys are getting it from other people though. It doesn't
Getting
matter.
what from other people?
The straight hair.
So straight hair is the culture.
You guys are trying to emulate another race.
How am I trying to emulate another race? I love being black. Anytime I wear straight hair, it's because I want to be black. It's not because I want to be white. I would never want to be white ever in my life, even if I wore straight hair.
Again, the meaning of cultural appropriation is the majority group stealing from the minority group. Let me just play this video for you.
Let's do Webster's dictionary. Yes. When members of a majority group adopt cultural elements of a minority group
Preach, sister.
in an exploitative, disrespectful,
Same so.
or stereotypical way.
A black person wearing straight hair is not cultural appropriation. Straight hair is not white people culture. It does not hold any cultural significance. And this little girl is not profiting off of it. She is not stealing it. She is not claiming to be white. She is not making money off of it. She is just rocking the hairstyle. If this had so much cultural significance, and if she was claiming that it's her own hair, then that would be cultural appropriation. So cultural appropriation is quite nuanced, and yeah, just let me know what you guys think about this one. Let's take a look at another one. If you're a musician and you're adopting a song from a certain culture and you're interviewed about it, make sure that you tell the truth, do not lie.
In my farming in Uruguay, I walked from the barn to the house, and on that walk, boom, it came to me. I got the lyrics and the music.
Why did Shakira have to lie about this song when it has existed for so many years in Western Africa? That is cultural appropriation. Do better. If you're still here, it means you're enjoying the video, so do make sure that you subscribe. Let's get back to the video. So I'm all for people appreciating each other's cultures and exchanging ideas and cultural elements and stuff, but you just have to do it in a respectful way. You have to be informed before you do that, because you never know who you're going to offend. And that leads us to cultural appreciation. So how can we appreciate other people's cultures? You're going to take some aspects of a certain culture from a culture, especially if you are from the majority group, and this is from the minority group. You want to make sure that You use people from that group, you know what I mean? So that they can benefit from that group. You benefit from it, they also benefit from it. Like, for example, models. If you're going to get somebody to wear a Herero dress, you want to make sure that you use a Herero person. Let them be the ones to wear the dress because they know how to wear it, you know what I mean? Or if you cannot do that, go to those people, consult them, ask them about the do's and the don'ts, and then you can implement it. I don't think anybody has a problem with anybody appreciating the culture. Just do it right. You know what I mean? Some people are a lot more strict than others. So I'll tell you that. Don't touch anything from my culture. Do not change anything from it. Stay the hell away from it. That is just how other people are. And other people are a lot more lenient with their culture. They don't really have a problem with it as long as you just appreciate it, give credit where it's due. And if you want to do it the right way, just approach them, talk to them, ask them questions, and they really don't have a problem. So just let me know what you think down below. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm pretty sure that you're going to enjoy these ones as well. Do make sure that you check them out, and I will see you on my next video. Cheers. Bye.